Hello, students, and welcome to SPED 7701 Program Planning and Evaluation. I am Dr. Katie Green. I am giving you a quick course overview of this course, and I am so excited to get started. This course is going to look a little bit different, this shell that I have up, because it's a sandbox, meaning I can play around with it before I actually post it in your course. So just note that your course is going to look slightly different from this. Also, I have it in instructor view. And so you're not going to have quite all the options whenever I am kind of scrolling through this course. So just a couple of little FYIs there. All right, so this is more or less what your course will look like when you open it up. I will communicate primarily through announcements. So be sure that you are checking into Coursing often, checking out the announcements. I do believe you can subscribe to announcements so that you can be aware when I post things. Like oftentimes I'll say such and such is graded. I might give big overview feedback, and then I'll say, the next module is open. All of that, please pay attention to. If I notice like a trend on everyone's assignment that needs to be slightly modified, I'll give that feedback in an announcement, things like that, or if something major has changed. All right, up here, it should look more or less the same for you. You've got your course home, which is this view. Your syllabus, very important. So that's where all the important information is, and you will have a syllabus screencast. You'll have a screencast on everything in this course. Your content is where all the information is. Communication, that's where you can email and do things like that in the course. Assessment, so if you're looking for an assignment, discussion, quiz, you can't find it, you can find it here. You've got your grades, of course. And then I love this, this part right here with all the different tutoring and resources. Smart Thinking is tutoring. The Writing Center, the library, the Center for Academic Success, all of that information. CourseDen help. That's important. So I am not your CourseDen IT person, but we have them and they are here under CourseDen help. All right, let's go ahead and look into the content. I will give you a screencast on each module, so I'm not going to go through right now. This is an overview. So all the most important information is here in module 0. Okay, that's your start here module. You've got the welcome, the overview, a checklist. Every module has the checklist. You've got your course schedule, assignments at a glance, your instructional materials. That's where there's a free ebook in here. So be sure that you're clicking on all of these things. Some things you might be able to print if you're someone who likes to have paper copies, or you might be able to save elsewhere just for your ease. Here you'll notice you've got a discussion. You've got a quiz, and then this one is open all throughout the semester, the peer-to-peer course Q&A. I ask that you guys monitor, you subscribe to this discussion board, and you ask each other questions here. I will also check in on it, but this is not a place to go if you're asking me a question, but sometimes your peers can answer questions for you, and so I ask that you do attempt that. Also, if you have more questions about the course, the syllabus is a great place, and I'm going to show you some other things. Right here, I can click to make things a little bit bigger. Your PEPP, that's the big assignment of this course. All the supports are right here in this file. So if you are confused about what are the directions, what is the rubric, what's the template she keeps talking about, what's the example, you click here and all the supports are in this file. All right, then we have additional module 0 supports and academic writing supports. So I think everything that you need is right here in module 0. So if you get to a point where you're like, I'm a little bit confused about the course, come back to module 0. Now, module 1 through 5, these are our major modules. This is the major content. And in week 1, we are doing module 0 and module 1. All right, week 1, we are doing both. Every module looks very similar. You've got the welcome, you've got the checklist, an activity overview. This right here is the most important one for you to go to. Module 1, readings, videos, and activities. There's one of these for every single module. I'll show you why it's so important. It's where all the readings are. It's where all the videos are. It's where all of that information is. And I see that not everything linked properly. So I will go back through and link. All of these will be linked and you will have the information right here. So it might be a good idea if you're one of those people who print, print this off and check it off. Or if you're not, make sure that you are going through and doing each one of these, all right, looking at each one. So each module has that in there, the readings, videos, and activities. Sometimes it's just readings. All right, and then here is your discussion board for Module 1, and here is Part 1 of your PEPP. That is every week. Module 1 is Part 1 you submit. Module 2 is Part 2. Module 3 is Part 3. Module 4 is Part 4. Module 5, you submit the entire PEPP with your Part 5. And this allows me to give you feedback every week on the PEPP is the big project. So again, there are screencasts for that. So be sure that you look at that. Just going through Module 2 real quick, it looks exactly the same. Okay, so you have the overview, the checklist. You've got the readings and activities here, your discussion board, and your Part 2. Okay, and that is the same all throughout. So we'll go to Module 5, which is our last module. You're welcome, your checklist. Module 5 is just readings. We'll click on it real quick since the other one didn't have links. Module 5 is just 2 different readings, and these are linked. Everything's linked here. So I'll go back and fix Module 1. That's why I'm in a sandbox and not in your actual course, so I can fix things. All right, so Module 5 looks like this, but Module 5 has a regular discussion. You're also going to submit your rough draft of your PEPP. So each other, you guys can review and give some feedback. You're going to submit your final PEPP here. And also I do a survey regarding the course because I like to make sure that this course is as relevant as possible and you can give lots of feedback. I've done some major course overhauls this semester, so I'm really going to be looking to your feedback. This is a support module. I highly recommend you go to it, although there are no recommended or required, no, I shouldn't say recommended. There are recommended readings, no required readings. This ebook is all throughout that, but I added it right here at the top as a PDF. But let me give you some examples here. Georgia's laws and regulations. In special ed, I should have put special ed there. I probably will now. All of these are links to very important things. So the rules, least restrictive environment. So if you're doing something on inclusion or co-teaching or something, that might be a great place for you to look at, or push in services compared to pull out services. All right, we have the implementation manual website, but I also pulled down the actual manual. Just note that this website has lots of updated chapters. So these manuals are a little bit old, but if they haven't done an updated chapter on it, I think it's relevant for you to have it. And pages 103 and beyond are service delivery models. So you'll probably want to look at that when you're deciding your program that you're going to evaluate. All right, so just going back to this, let me show you one more resource. Probably the laws and the evidence-based practices are the most important. So where to find evidence-based interventions, the What Works Clearinghouse, high leverage practices, all of these are linked resources for you. So when you are going through your course, let's go back to content. That is a support module for you to see if you can find additional information. Okay, if you need it. I suppose that is it for now. Please make sure you're looking at the syllabus screencast as well as each module screencast. And as I said, there is one big project in this course, and that big project has its own screencast as well. So this course is loaded with screencasts. All right, I hope that this was helpful for you, and I will now see you in module 0 and 1.